How to run with asthma. I'm Jeff. I'm an asthmatic that managed to control his asthma. I actually started out with really poor endurance, but I liked the idea of running, and I've seen the evidence of asthmatic people being able to run marathons. So I used them as my inspiration and I started training on my own. At first, I was really weak. I didn't last long in my running. I wasn't serious in my long training. I didn't form it as a habit, and as a result, I forgot about it. After several months passed without training, my friend invited me to play basketball. I agreed, he's my friend. When we met on the basketball court, I thought my lungs were still in shape, and I didn't bring a rescue inhaler because I didn't need one before. Before, my lungs was still in shape because I was running or playing with my friends as a kid. So I was physically active since I was a kid, in elementary and in high school. But this time, I was very inactive. I stopped training. And coincidentally, the COVID lockdown happened. So I got more physically inactive. So when we started playing, my lungs got shocked. So I hugged the railings and tried as much as I could to catch up to my breath. My friends were really worried about my breathing, and I realized I just made a big mistake. So the day after that, I made a commitment. To myself to train seriously. I started training by just getting consistent and not missing a day. I wasn't worried about what the optimal training was, what the ideal training program was. I just wanted to make it my habit. After a few years, I got in decent shape. That's when I doubled down on my training. I got the proper programs, the proper nutrition, and the proper sleep. That was the reason why I won a cardio contest, I won a race, and climbed the tallest mountain in the Philippines because of my training. And I want to share you that program because that's what I wish for my younger self. First is you need to prepare your inhaler. You should also tell your running mates or your coach so they'll know what to do when you have an asthma attack. You should have controlled exercise. First is you need to select your environment. When you're starting out, you should control the environment that doesn't trigger your asthma right away. If your asthma gets easily triggered outside, then just work out at home. This step is probably the most important because you don't want to play on hard mode right away. If you work out immediately outside and you get triggered, then it will greatly decrease your motivation because every time you would work out, your asthma gets triggered instantly. An analogy I can give you is going to the gym. It's better to lift a lighter weight than constantly progress that weight rather than doing this thing as a beginner. And it's like that when you're training your lungs. Now when you're training, you should only breathe through your nose. It is because your mouth cannot filter the air. So if you breathe through your mouth, you have a higher risk of triggering asthma again. That is what you should do consistently throughout the exercise period. Before you start exercising though, you need to warm up your lungs before you exercise. A popular recommendation by doctors is walking while doing the Buteyko method. Overall, your exercise should not feel like you're pushing hard. It should just be within the slightly uncomfortable range. You can do this by having the talking test. If you can still talk comfortably in short bursts, then you're doing it enough to train your lungs, but not too much that you can't breathe. When you consistently exercise, the time will come that it will be very easy for you. That's the time when we should increase the pace, which means increasing the intensity if you feel that your airways are getting better. If ever it feels too intense, like you accidentally did too much and now your lungs can't handle it, you can recover with breathing slowly. Lastly, you should always have an asthma action plan. This will give you a guide on what to do when your asthma triggers. This will also help the people around you to know how they can support you because during those times you can't talk properly. So it would guide them on how they should assist you. And you can present this to your doctor so both of you can plan effectively.